Hello, hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we found Maerwald. He is not in a good place. He is not in a good state. This man is damaged. And unfortunately, it's too early in the episode for me to properly go over what this man has experienced. However, his past lives were awakened, and he remembered that he kind of had done some extremely traumatic things, and it has broken him. It has completely and utterly broken him. Now, we did say, hey, we didn't just remember, we were reminded there was this guy and they wore masks and there was all this stuff, and Maerwald has said, oh, I know these people, that's the Leaden Key, and apparently Kana also doesn't like them. What can you tell me about this Leaden Key? Who is this queen they pray to? If the Leaden Key caused my awakening, could they undo it? Do you know where I might find the Leaden Key? Yeah, all very good questions. What can you tell me about this Leaden Key?
Secrets and deceptions and schemes. Who knows their answers? Not they. Crossed them before. Hatred of watchers, hatred and fear. Much we see. Threat to secrets.
This is interesting. So what did they do? Was it the activation of that weird statue that made us all watch? Also, don't actually answer this. If you know the answers to my questions, please don't answer this. I'm just sort of spitballing ideas here. Was it the activation of the statue that made us a watcher? Because I do remember after all of that, when Ximena had kind of passed out, we went into like a dream sequence, and there was all of this talk of like, oh, you're in a room, it's like shiny and new and blah blah blah, it's not ruins, and you see the guy. You see this guy and you have a question. Now obviously that wasn't Ximena, but it was from a first person's perspective. So do we have awakened memories, but they're just not affecting us? And it's interesting that apparently this faction hates Watchers. They hate Watchers, and yet they've made one. I have so many questions. Who is this queen they pray to?
Woodica, goddess, crown shattered and body burned. Binder of oaths and grudge holder. Bearer of justice. But whose?
If the Leaden Key caused my awakening, could they undo it?
Many secrets do they keep. Unawaken? Mayhap. Who else if not they?
Maerwald's bushy white eyebrows edge upwards. He begins muttering to himself. Just as you are about ready to repeat your question, he speaks. So we have a chance. I do think Ximena is going into this like, right, if this is what I'm going to become, if I am going to become a gibbering wreck because I learned that in a past life I did something unspeakable, I don't want this. I don't like... Ximena was uncomfortable being a watcher previously. Seeing Maerwald, she's like, yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to avoid this fate. Big old cross here. No thank you, I'm not about this life. So if he's saying if anyone could do this, if anyone could unawaken you, set you back to normal, it's the Leaden Key. She's like, right. My plans of going, doing con artistry in Defiance Bay or wherever, like, put those to the side, we can do them later. New goal, new main mission, find these guys so I don't end up like this. Do you know where I might find the Leaden Key?
City of Defiance. Never far from the Queen.
We were originally going to head that way. What luck? I need to go so I can search for this man from the Leaden Key.
Sleep well. Sleep well.
Maerwald nods at you, a look of understanding on his face.
Hold! I know your will die. Your actions were seen. You would sooner betray us to the Adir land thieves than take orders from me.
Oh. I'm leaving. You're confusing me with someone from a past life, honest. I don't have time for this. I will beat you senseless, old man. Aggressive. Take it easy. I'm not going to betray anyone. Diplomatic. I'd sooner do a lot of things than take orders from a lunatic. Clever. This... I don't think Ximena has it in her heart to call this man a lunatic because she's looking at what she might become. And she doesn't want to call herself a lunatic. I think she feels badly for this guy. As I said, Maerwald didn't do anything. He just looked at a fire and then suddenly he's having first-person images of him doing something terrible to a woman he recognises as his mother. Like, this is... He has done nothing. Why should he be punished for stuff his soul did in a past life? Like, Ximena... Ximena knows, like, one day I'm going to die, my soul is going to be passed on to someone else, I'll be a completely different person. Like, that person might be genuinely good. They might be a genuinely good, kind person with no malice, no, like, dodginess in them at all. Why should they be punished for what I did? I'm the con artist here. I'm the con artist. Those crimes are mine. I don't necessarily want to be punished for them, but, like, if anyone should be... like, it's me. Like, in a future life, where maybe I'm innocent, and, you know, I'm a nun, and I do church things, and I never harm anyone, like, I don't deserve to be punished then. Like, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Maerwald shouldn't be being punished for stuff he did in a past life when he wasn't himself. Yes, it's all the same soul, but they're all different people. I think Ximena will be diplomatic. I don't know if I've done any diplomatic choices so far, but she will be diplomatic. She will be. She's not opposed to diplomacy. She's opposed to randomly being aggressive. She's not necessarily opposed to diplomacy. And I think she just feels badly for this guy. She feels badly for this guy. She's looking at potentially her own future. Take it easy. I'm not going to betray anyone.
Your betrayal is for nothing. Your warnings are lost on these foreigners, and their blood will be Gallowayne's tribute this night. I have asked the elders for the honor of claiming your head as my first trophy, and they have granted it. Beg for the Seeker God to grant you a quick death.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. You'll might be a bit fucked, but okay.
Hey there.
Right. This would not bring Ximena any joy. This would not bring Ximena any joy, but...
Yes?
hey-ho. It's what we have to do.
What?
And then
Following your lead.
You do something. Do something.
Hey there.
Lava!
What is that coming in? I don't know what that's coming in is, but like, okay, Ximena. Okay.
Ulu! Hey.
Adia, who is what? That's Durance. Okay, no, Adia. You go after that. Durance,
What?
you're gonna come round. Take out that guy. Right, you know what? I think we just need to take out this guy as quickly as possible.
Following your lead.
You're fine. You're fine. You do you, babe. You do you.
Aye?
I probably shouldn't call Durance babe, but whatever. We are going to spam this. We are going to spam this so he doesn't kill me. I'm losing health. Rapidly losing health. Do that.
Aye?
He's going down. He's going down.
Hey.
I'm just like, everyone, please
Following
attack
your lead.
the correct people.
What?
Hey there.
Yep, Maerwald is dead. Maerwald is dead. Oh.
Hey there.
Come
Come on, not like that.
There is a change in the air of the keep. What was thick and suffocating feels to you somehow more breathable, as though yielding to a conquering invader. Maerwald's body lies inert. You can feel his soul lingering there, uncertain. There is something unique about this soul in this place. A bond formed in decades of inhabitants and lordship that feels somehow palpable to you, as though even in death the keep knows its former master, and the former master remembers his keep. Ximena was granted Speaker to the Restless. Oh. In your mind's eye, the bond seems to you as a frayed rope, ghostly and alive, its frayed ends writhing like tide pool anemones, and you find that if you concentrate on it, you have the ability to manipulate its strands. So we can repair the rope, binding Maerwald's soul here as an eternal warden. We can sever the rope, allowing Maerwald to pass from the world, draw upon the energy of the rope itself, siphoning knowledge from the connection. Oh. I'm inclined to sever the rope. This is definitely not number 3. Definitely not that. Because here's the thing, this is knowledge that drove him mad. It might not necessarily be the same knowledge. It might be knowledge about Cadnua. However, can we really be so sure the kind of knowledge we're going to get? Can we really be so sure? Maerwald was mad. He was driven mad by the things he knew, by the things he saw, and I don't think Ximena wants any part of that. Bind his soul here. Sever the rope. I get this place brought him no joy, or at least it did originally, but now he's just. This place distressed him. This place distressed him severely. I mean, if we bind him here, then his soul will never move forward, which means no one else will run the risk of learning the things that Maerwald did, of having an awakening and seeing all of this stuff back here and being traumatized about it in the present. But then Maerwald is still suffering potentially. My gut instinct was to sever the rope. As I said, Ximena does not want this knowledge. No matter what this knowledge is, Ximena doesn't want it. Maerwald was troubled and mad, and it was because of the things he knew, and as such Ximena is like, I don't want to know the things you know. Your knowledge drove you crazy. I don't want any part in that. Ximena values freedom. Ximena really values freedom. For her, it's the freedom to con people. Which isn't good, but hey-ho, that's who she is. She values freedom as a concept. So binding him here, caging him, she wouldn't approve of that, yeah. Sever the rope, allowing Maerwald to pass from the world. Strand by strand, the connections fly apart like the overstressed strings of some ethereal instrument. With the tearing of the final string, the rope becomes liquid and dissolves from your awareness. Maerwald's soul hovers near you, a vortex of strife and discord, but there is something else there beneath it. something like relief. His soul passes through one of the walls and is gone. Quest complete, the Old Watcher. Maerwald's Grimoire. Primal Wind, okay. Never Far from the Queen. I like that title. I like that title for a quest. Oh. Kinda wants to talk to you. Ah, okay. Okay, I must be on the lookout for these little symbols. That was really cool. It was distressing. It was distressing, but it was cool. Oh.
Hey there.
That was...
Light, flame, and sound.
I'm just
We'll keep
stealthing
ourselves.
to see if there was anything hidden here. This really reminded me of the first time I ever played Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins, it's the darkest of the Dragon Age games, and it's my favourite, and there are some really disturbing moments in that game. The Broodmother, for example, and they're dark and distressing, but I love them. I love them. Not in like an approving way. Let me just specify that. But they're like it's been a while since I've played an RPG that felt like true dark fantasy. That right there, that felt like dark fantasy. That was extremely enjoyable and distressing as hell. A worn book lies on the table, its pages filled with nonsensical scrawls. The sickly sweet smell of rot rises from the half-eaten fruit. Yeah, we'll open that up.
Give me a real
A
challenge.
lot. Thank you. Ooh, 9 obel.
This calls for a subtle touch.
Indeed it does, Ximena. Indeed it does.
Give me a real challenge.
Ooh, a dagger. And more gold. Excellent. Ooh, no, that's just a door. That is just a door. Okay.
You cannot wit that older said? I don't want to discuss it.
Aloth, what is going on with you? What is going on with you? I have questions about Aloth. Okay, oh. Okay, there are spiders down there. Let's all go up here. And I think now is the time to regroup. Obviously, we want to speak to Canna. Let's see what does our journal say? Okay, speak with the steward. Maerwald has told me that I might find the Leaden Key in the City of Defiance, never far from the Queen. If it is there I must go if I am to track down the man who triggered my awakening. Yeah, okay. And what do we have here? Yeah, Adia will have to decide how to proceed from here. I was about to say, like, have we scuppered this? Like, I didn't see any options for, like, Adia have a chat with the man. Yeah, go to Anslog's Compass. Return to Gilded Vale. Okay. Yeah, just find the ruins. Okay, got it. Got it. Well then, Kana.
Following your lead. Poor Maerwald. He couldn't contend with all that he knew of himself. A cruel fate.
It may be my fate too. He was weak. I won't end up the same way. I don't think knowledge was the problem. He said that if I can find out what caused this, it might help me. Maybe it's better to stay ignorant of some things. Never mind him. Let's go. Ooh. I'm drawn to these two because here's the thing. Ximena wouldn't want to acknowledge this. That it may be her fate. She's going to do everything she can to avoid this fate, but I don't think she wants to acknowledge it. She doesn't want to acknowledge herself being in that kind of state. I could see an argument for this. He was weak. I won't end up that way. But then again, I get Maerwald learned something extremely traumatic. I think Ximena has a lot of empathy for Maerwald because he was being punished for something that he didn't do. Yes, it was his soul, but he didn't do that. And he was punished so severely, so utterly. I don't think she'd want to call him weak, especially if he is potentially a reflection of herself, of what might happen to her. I think she wishes she was ignorant. She wishes that none of this ever happened. You know, maybe I should have stayed in Valia. Maybe I should have stayed in the Valian republics. Maybe I should have gone somewhere else. Maybe I should never have gotten on that damn boat. Maybe it's better to stay ignorant of some things. Perhaps. Though in this case it seems like the answers are your best hope of curing yourself. A matter of balance, yes? Okay. Interesting. You know what? You know what? We're just going to stay in the basement and we're going to have a chat to people. That's what we're going to do for the rest of the episode.
Following your lead. It's good to be on the road again. A wanderlust is nothing rare in the people of Rauatai, but often I think myself alone in loving the land as much as the sea. What shall we see next, I wonder?
How are you holding up? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about Rauatai. What is this sacred book you're looking for? You're being hunted by the Leaden Key. Do you know anything about this place? Let's be on our way. How are you holding up? I'm ready if you are, Kana grins. Tell me about yourself.
What shall I tell? I am Kanarua, born in the royal city of Takoa, from which rules the Ranga Nui. There. That is a solemn enough start. I am a lore chanter in the college there. Or at least a student of lore and a chanter both.
Ooh, perception. The accent's right, but you don't look like you're from Rauatai. Ooh. I like Ximena being perceptive. The accent's right, but you don't look like you're from Rauatai. Do I not? He grins crookedly. I take your meaning. My family is from the Deadfire Archipelago, but I've never seen the islands. My parents travelled to Rauatai many years before I was born. They found more opportunity in Rauatai. My mother took to crafting cannons, aspiring pirate that she is. And my father's work with coral caught the eye of someone important. And then the Ranganui himself. The rest followed. What would you like to know? Ooh. Again, that's my voice. What made you leave the college?
I was on the usual path at first. Theology, the traditions, when the Gate of Great Teeth was completed. It was all my father had hoped for. The greatest commission he had ever received. But it was also a sign that Rauatai was changing, looking inward. Meanwhile, I was neck-deep in the writing of a dozen nations, marveling at all the things that lay beyond our borders.
And in so many of those books and records, I found accounts of ancient Engwith. The Adirans hold a great hunger for Engwithan relics, and why shouldn't they? It was the civilization from which the Glanfathans learned to read souls. I decided that my third degree would be in history, and that I would study the Engwithans. They were at the heart of so much discussion abroad, so many discoveries. It drew some mockery. We'd watched Adir draw itself into several conflicts with the Glanfathans over these ruins. Takawa had its own concerns. And soon I found it, a section of the Tanvi Oratoa, in an Adiran translation of ancient Engwithan script. Just there, without explanation. It seemed like a gift from the gods. What would you like to know? Tell me about the lore chanters. My eldest brother thinks we spend our days in song, weaving wreaths from flowers, but the truth is far less exciting than that. The college preserves what knowledge our people have gathered. I would have it said that the lore chanters are Rauatai, for without them we would have no beginning, no sense of how far we've come. We would forget ourselves with every generation. I'm only a student, yet, but someday I'll return and tell the keeper what I learned, and she will add my verses to the chant. What is this Gate of Great Teeth? much as it sounds. A maze of walls, like the teeth of some nautical terror. It sits outside the city and guards Takawa from invaders and storms. The storms have always been more trouble. Nutanri, the angry titans, throw themselves against Rawatai's shores. Invaders I'm not so sure about, but perhaps I'm like the man who, being dry, throws off his rain cloak during a storm. Kana laughs. So my mother would have me believe. What's a Ranganui? A king. Our great king, ruler over all of Rawatai. I'm sorry, I can't read. He's led our people well, and he has treated my family very well. My father and he are great friends, as much as one can be friends with a king. I had other questions. We could ask about his family. I'd like to see if we get that option again. No, we don't, okay. Tell me about Rawatai.
Ah, Rawatai. Shall I describe the pearl-white sands, the sapphire waters, the multi-hued tiles of the rooftops, like a mosaic upon the coast? Sorry.
Was there something specific you wanted to know? Tell me about the kingdom of Rawatai in general. It's a long journey by ship to the north, past Ximena and across the sea. We have settled much of the Gulf and established more recent trading colonies all across the coast. We live as best we can, like anyone else. Our land is plagued by storms, and so we stand together, whatever corner of Rawatai we hail from. Otherwise we'd never survive. Tell me about the city you're from, Takawa.
Takawa is doubly famed, a royal city and home to the Coral Harbor. The Ranganui's palace is there, and we've a fleet of royal ships sitting outside the Gate of Great Teeth. Every so often you'll hear the roar of a cannon being tested.
The finest ships in Rawatai, and so the world are anchored there, and some of our brightest minds toil away at the artillery. My mother, for instance. Kana grins brightly. Myself, I have no talent with gunpowder. Takawa is... Oh, hello. I like that. Takawa is also home to the Law College, of course, and we get a great many people travelling long distances to speak with the lawkeeper, or else hear the chants and peruse the books. At least, that is how it was when I was younger. Things are a little different when I left. Okay. How so? It sounds like you miss home. Surely, alien ships are the finest. Yeah, we'll go through them. How so? You might say the winds are changing. The Pahari, they are traditionalists in a way. The Ranganui's sons stand among their number. Talk at the dinner table has changed from how far a fleet Rawatai ship might sail to how well defended our borders are. How far we have turned from the old ways. Then talk turns to barring Adiran and Valian merchant ships, and Kana sighs. Things were difficult when I left. There was much arguing among the elders. I trust the king has kept the peace, but I worry sometimes that things have taken a turn for the worse. You aren't a traditionalist? So you're a mewling milksop. It's sensible to look to your people's own interests. I see. I wondered about something else. I mean, we're trying to get to know him better here. I do think Ximena would believe this, because she looks after her own interest. It's what she knows, but we are trying to get to know Kana here. So you aren't a traditionalist? Oh, I'm a regular firebrand, if you ask the other chanters. I don't see why I can't appreciate our traditions and chart a better future, but so goes the debate. It sounds like you miss your home. Some parts of it. Those silver cliffs, the sea, those at least no one can change. The day I boarded the ship for Adir, the sunrise was gold upon the water, and I nearly leapt overboard and swam for home. Surely Valian ships are the finest. The grandest, sure. Houses on water, Kana laughs. Give me a sleek Rawatai ketch heavy with cannons, and I'll still run circles around your Valian carracks. Takawa has a lot of this artillery. Rawatai has a lot of artillery. We've made great advances with explosives. One of our artillery masters advised on the Godhammer bomb during the Saints' War, actually. In Rawatai itself, our efforts are more modest. Bombards, cannons. We're having some luck with mortars. You might ask my sister if you ever visit Takawa. She captains the Ratawana. She knows far more than I do, and enjoys great fame for it. Do only oh, wait a minute. It may not be very traditional, but even the most strident demagogue won't touch the subject of artillery. They'd lose what support they've gathered. Do only Amawa live there? Far from it. The Amawa arrived more recently, and form the greater number, but others have joined us, so long as they call themselves subjects of the Ranganui. Some of my neighbours are Orlans, for instance. Fine people, though they care little for the sea. There goes my timer. I had other questions. Ask all you like. A chanter's purpose lies in the telling of stories. Mostly true stories at that. And let's be on our way. Okie doke, very interesting. In the next episode, we'll have a talk. I think we'll have a talk with all of our companions, see if Aloth and Adia have anything new to say. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davis, and CGG. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.